This is Ike Feldman with CBS Sports Radio's Outside the Cage. I'm joined by former Alabama player, now UFC fighter, contender in 185, might be a contender at the 205 division, joined with ERYK Anders. ERYK, how you doing, man?
Man, doing awesome, man. It's got a great workout in, got some good training in, so, ready to do it again.
Nice. I popped in this morning to speak to Dwayne's schedule, and then all of a sudden we see this tall, curly guy throwing some haymakers, man. Is this something you scheduled? Like, how was it? How'd you get this connection to come down and train on a nice Friday morning?
Yeah, well, I'm in town training, and one of my sponsors, Infinite CBD, has some connections with the gym, so he told me to come on down here and get some work.
Did you pick up anything? I mean, I know we're on the record, but like, just be honest. Is it like, did you feel a difference in this gym compared to the others?
It's the combinations are a little bit different, a little bit different flavor for me. So I think if you want to continue and grow in the sport as it's continuing to evolve, you too have to evolve and pick up little things here and there to add to your game. So that's what I try and do when I travel, is get out and train and do as much as I can with whoever I can.
Nice. How long have you been training like full time now since you've made the transition into mixed martial arts?
I think about 2 years now, I believe. So, man, it's
short.
Yeah, it's been awesome, man. I've been able to just pretty much train all day. I train 4 to 6, sometimes 7, 8 hours a day, and I'm able to get enough rest so I can do that and do everything else, the everyday life stuff. So. It's just been super beneficial to my training.
You get more playing time than your teammate McCarron right now, man.
Yeah, that guy, he's a talent, man. I think he'll get a shot, and he'll make the most of it, and he always does whenever he gets a chance. So, dude's got a bright future.
Nice. Sticking with you, obviously in your last fight it didn't go as well as you want, but dude, I'm sure Shelby and McMahon are so happy for him. I'm sure they texted you, been over the moon for you stepping in on short notice. I know you kind of got a connection out there with your wife in Brazil, so it was easy. Can you take me through that process, like getting the call, training, and turning yourself into warrior mode?
Man, it's literally just a switch, man. They called me, said they needed me to fight Santos. I was like, all right,
How much did you weigh?
I was probably like 220, 225, so, it's not a hard weight cut, man, to get to 205. So, I could do that. I literally did it overnight. And, so I enjoy fighting. I like traveling. So, why not?
In your short experience, you said it's an easy weight cut. That's like 15, 20 pounds. Is that what you're normally sitting at, 225, to get to the 185?
Yeah, I just fought, less than a month before that, so I was still in feast mode, So, I was eating good. Still training, I was sparring, working. I was actually out in Vegas. Came home, and then, like, the next morning, that Sunday, I got the call. So, I was working, I was training. And just, not in the best shape that I could have been in,
How close were you to that rear naked choke, man?
Man, I felt it was in there pretty tight, man. But, that guy trains too, So, I've really been working hard on my grappling and my finishes and stuff like that. So when I can take advantage of those opportunities when they come up in fights like that.
No, for Santos, there was a lot of pressure on him, man. He's in his country. He's a new weight class. Now he's might be facing off sometime against Anthony Smith. There's a lot more pressure on him. You step in there and you do an amazing performance. How much does that build your confidence moving forward? Obviously, you want to win, but how much does it build your confidence? Like, have you felt a different aura when you walk into the gym now?
No, not really. But
damn it,
that fight was, regardless of the outcome, was really fun for me because he's literally the only person that I've fought so far that actually moved forward and came forward and wanted to get in there and bang. And so, I came out on the other end that I wanted to, but it was still fun for me. And, those are the kind of fights that I like.
Thank you. Again, we're being joined by ERYK Anders. ERYK, I didn't have, obviously this is an abrupt interview, didn't have enough time to research, but I remember when I first spoke to you, I think it was the fight before Machida, you said you're training at, is it SBG in Alabama?
That's it, yeah, SBG Alabama.
And did Wilder come through that? I don't know if we brought that up like years ago. Does Wilder come through that gym?
Nah, he trains, we're in Birmingham, he's in Tuscaloosa, so he's like a 45-minute drive from us.
But is boxing like ingrained in that area?
It's not really, man. He's probably, there's not many world champions, but man, I think he's the guy right now, regardless of where he's from. But I don't think Alabama has a huge history of, just great boxers or whatever. So he's definitely on the front lines of that.
Has he ever popped into like a mixed martial arts gym to say hi? Like, have you ever gone to his gym maybe to like spar or hit some pads?
Man, him and I are good friends.
Oh, really?
So he was actually at my pro debut down there in Tuscaloosa. So we're good friends. But he does boxing, I do MMA. So it's a little bit different worlds, a little bit.
But the thing I want to ask, what martial art have you have you absorbed the most? Whether it's wrestling, jiu-jitsu, boxing, kickboxing, what have you absorbed the most, and what's been the hardest to pick up?
I think I've absorbed them all pretty equally. I never devoted more time to one than the other, so it all kind of gelled and congealed at the same time. For me, when I first got started, the hardest thing was the footwork. And you still see 6 years later, I don't have the greatest footwork. It's certainly improved from what it was, but football, everything's like straightforward. Straightforward or side. There's very little like lateral movement from my position. Linebacker. So I just had to learn all that and get comfortable on my feet.
I asked you this a year ago. I'm going to ask you this again. Where do you see the sport in 5 years, 15, 10 years with the athlete? Do you feel that even if the guy's got now a 10-pack, an 8-pack, that it's not going to matter? It's all mental. Now that you've been in the game and you see the athletes improving like yourself, where do you see the mixed martial arts going?
Man, I think, there is no limit for the sport. I think that kids are starting to step away from other sports and pick up mixed martial arts. My son played football this year, and only
How old?
9. Only 200 kids, signed up to play tackle football, and 1,000 kids signed up to play flag football. So, I think the parents are starting to get away from like the contact stuff and more into, it's flag now. Then in a few years it'll be jiu-jitsu. So I think some of the main sports are going to start to lose some of the athletes, and they're going to start doing MMA as the sport continues to grow.
Would you let your kid get into an MMA fight when he's in his 20s, or would you rather him play college football? Like, say the money's dead even, what would you rather him do?
To be honest with you, it's really what, his heart, it's really up to him. Me personally, I like MMA better, but at the same time, if football is, his avenue, he's going to make a living out of it, he's going to be happy, it's whatever. They're more than happy to do whatever they want.
Again, thank you for the time. 2 more real quick. Who you facing at 231? Again, this is an abrupt interview. I didn't look it up. Who you facing, and how do you see that going, and what do you think he does well?
I'm fighting Elias Theodoro.
Oh, the Perk Plus. Excuse my language. Perk Plus. Dude, please knock him out. Please. I didn't know it was Elias. So is it main card or prelims?
Prelims, So.
He does a little bit of everything. Knock his head off, man. I know he's like a 5-tool TriStar guy, but it's like, get in there and make it dirty, man. He likes to dance on the outside.
Yeah, honestly, I watched the Sam Alvey fight, and I see him fighting similar to that in the clinch up against the cage.
He's points, man. He doesn't want to dirty his face.
Well, I don't think he likes, taking the risk of, getting hit. So, if he's pressing me up against the cage, I have little offense. It's all defense to stay off the cage, So, I'll be ready no matter where the fight goes. I'm, on the feet, on the ground, against the cage. And I'm very confident that I'll go out there and get a finish, too.
Who's a better ring boy, you or him? You see him holding the cards?
Yeah, man. He can have it, man. That's all him, man.
Fantastic, man. Is Tua going to get it done again this year?
I think so, man. I think that this year Alabama's clicking on all cylinders, special teams, offense, and defense. Typically in the past it's been all defense or defense and special teams, but now it's pretty cool to see the offense is deadly and as potent as the defense. So, I don't see, as long as they bring their A game every time, I don't see anybody messing with them.
Are you ever going to get tired of the Alabama questions?
Nah, probably it's part of the game, man. It's part of the history, so probably not.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Eric.
Hey, thank you.